welcome, Rick. You know what episode this is? Episode 50.
Wow.
Episode 50. 50, my friends. 50.
That's awesome.
That's a pretty cool accomplishment. I have to say, I think we should be proud of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
absolutely.
neat. We've been around long enough to have 50 episodes, and we haven't been booted off yet, so that's good.
Right. Well, most people probably have a piece of tape or a piece of paper taped over my side of the screen.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It might be the opposite. You might be like, let's not look at that guy. Let's listen.
Yeah, we're tired of him.
Yeah. Well, but like I said, we haven't been kicked out yet.
No. Hey,
speaking of kicked out, as you know, I'm partially kicked out of a Round 14 Instagram page there for a little bit. I don't know why.
I know. What are you doing over there?
I don't know. I obviously did something. It said that I was I attached the name, I guess, or the handle, whatever, to some kind of like building app, like to get more followers and get more likes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't do any of that stuff. I don't want to do it because of those reasons. I don't want to get shut down.
Right.
So until Saturday, we can't do any likes on anybody's posts. We can't comment on anybody's posts. We could still post our stuff on Instagram, on our page.
Okay.
And we could still write in the posts.
Okay.
But that's about it. I can still put things on reels and stories and things like that.
Right.
So I did reply to them like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do anything. I am as careful as could be on that page. I don't do anything like controversial. Trust me, if I said what I wanted to on that page, I wouldn't be up a week.
Yeah.
But I am not about to lose a page that Sly follows. So Sly, if you're listening, please, for some reason or other, they boot me off. Look for Round 14 Part 2.
Could it be like fat thumb type things? You hit the
wrong button. It might have been. I mean, because I get a lot of, when you post something and then somebody comments, "Oh, nice," and then you get those bot comments like promoted on this site, do this. That. I'm thinking maybe it was one of those. I don't know.
You probably hit it by accident. I mean, those are so small and it's so easy to do.
So anyway, like I said, so I did report it to them because it said if you think it's incorrect to let them know, which I did. But I'm still banned till Saturday. But that's okay. I'll just
Tony was grounded. Tony was grounded.
Hey, I changed the password to this like ridiculously long, stupid password that I had to save because I never would have remembered it.
Right.
Just in case anybody hacked it, because I got hacked that one time, as you know. I had 11,000. Yeah, I had 11,400 followers. This is before I started Round 14.
Right.
And that was on my Tony C one, and then I got hacked, and then I had 5,000, and I got hacked again, and that's when I started Stallion. And so far, luckily, 1,800. I'm still going strong. I care more about the Round 14 app, the Round 14 page more than I do my own. I can care less about my page. So I changed it, the passwords in case we're hacked, and I also changed it to a business account.
Oh.
So I figured maybe I have a little more clout if it's a business account.
Okay.
So speaking of business account, we're going to put up the wonderful merchandise that you make, not the wonderful model that you'll see soon, but
look at that handsome
guy. Look at that merchandise there. Look at that. Look at that shirt.
Gentleman.
Look at that hat. Look at that.
Yeah.
So you can get that stuff on the Instagram, Round 14 Instagram page. You can get, obviously, street signs. Let me take that big ugly goof down. Street signs, which are behind us there, if you choose. And if you don't want the Round 14 merch to promote our site, then just get the hell out of here. I'm just kidding. If you don't want that, then obviously you can get, look, hey, my man made this amazing Rocky album cover shirt. So he can make anything. He's magic with that vinyl machine.
Hey, dryer's done.
Dryer's done. See, he's making more as we speak. He's making more. Laundering money now. See, now we're really going to get banned.
Hey, the hundreds are done. Come get them out.
I told you to make 20s this time. Less conspicuous,
Well, last time I did 20s, I put Stallone on them.
Yeah.
Well,
So we have another update besides the merchandise and the Instagram ban. We have another update that Cuff and Link have been doing very well in their new home, their new environment.
Yes, they are. I hate to say it, but I really wish that before I put them in the water that I painted C and L on their shell.
Yeah, now at this point, it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
I guess you could take them out and do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
It's funny you said that because a very, very long story short, quick story. We took the girls to a sea turtle rescue down in Sarasota, and they did that. They on the top of their shells, everybody had a name. One was named Captain Morgan. One was named Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, nice.
So they had it on there.
Okay.
And just so you're aware, if you do want to do this, they did it on there with like a safe paint that didn't hurt them, like a nail polish type of paint, because their shell is just like our nails. It grows back.
Okay.
So it doesn't harm them. And if for some reason it got scraped off, it'll grow right back. And so, you want to put Cuff and Link on them? Or CNL?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine having twins. What a horrible dad.
You want to just keep calling the same one, the different names.
I know.
Hey, Cuff.
Yeah. But it's funny. Every morning, one or the other, they're out there sunning themselves. And
nice.
Yeah.
They never both out at the same time?
No, I never see them. Every once in a blue moon, I'll see them both out, but I haven't seen them both out in a minute. But when I built the pond, I built caves and structures underneath, and also like air vent trap, where they could go up underneath and still climb up and underneath this way.
Right.
Knowing that they very well could spend the winter out there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make it a habitat that, was going to an environment that they could live in.
Are they going to be able to survive the winter if it goes into winter time?
Well, I'll put a heater,
Oh, okay.
The ones that they put in the cow troughs on the farms.
Okay.
I throw one of those in there. What it does is it heats the water up to like 60 degrees ish, maybe.
Okay.
Just enough to like melt the ice and snow around it. So you let the, lets the oxygen come in and the CO2 out. And that's how the fish will continue to live and whatnot. So
how big are they? Are they about?
The turtles are they're about like that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're growing.
Yeah, they'll get up to a foot. They said.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger than Rocky's Cuff and Link.
They will get, yeah. I mean, I think these are called Mississippi mud. They got like a really cool red stripe on their head. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I might have to go get turtles.
They were like $25 at one of the Petco or whatever.
That's awesome. Very cool.
A bunch of years ago, I was down at the Erie Canal. I know you've heard of the Erie Canal.
Uh-huh.
And it used to be when I lived in Camillus, New York, it was basically in my backyard. And we were down there, and I'm standing there. Now, I have no sense of smell to speak of. Not COVID related, just been that way for
You just don't, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm standing there, and I'm like, wow, what is that stench? And for me to smell something,
I was going to say it's bad.
And I turn around and I look to my right, and kind of like if I'm at 12, I'm at the 4 o'clock position. There's this snapping turtle, and he's this one eye, and he man, did that thing stink?
Oh, I bet.
Oh, mean. Oh man, those things are mean.
Yeah, I'll take your arm off those things.
I did not get a snapping turtle. I got these.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's Cuff and Link. Yeah, Cuff and Link. Those were like Rocky co-stars for a long time.
No. Hey, the 10s are done.
The 10s are done now? Oh, good.
Deb, the 10s are done. Come get them.
Oh, man. Yeah, he had those turtles he still has them, I think, right? 40 years now, 50,
40,
it's crazy.
40 something, 40. Well, what are we on, the 46th anniversary of Rocky?
Well, 2026 is the 50th, so this 47th.
47th. Yeah. So he's had them. I mean, he doesn't have them.
Right.
Somebody else cares for them, right? Correct?
I don't know.
I think so. I think somebody else cares for them.
I just know I saw the picture of him, and he said that those were the original ones. I was pretty surprised.
47 years.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Boy.
Those aren't his only co-stars, though. We had a lot of co-stars in his films.
Absolutely.
We had we did our show with the other cast of Rocky besides Sylvester Stallone, which was Talia Shire and Carl Weathers, Burt Young, and Burgess Meredith, which is the Fab Four, I guess you could say, of the Rocky saga.
Oh yeah,
those are the big guys. So we're going to go over the part 2 of the cast for the whole saga, from Rocky to Balboa. And
Tony, I gotta interrupt you for a second because this just hit my brain. Man, you can segue like nobody else's business.
Well, we're talking about Cuff and Link. Those are his co-stars.
I'm telling you, you're smooth.
You have to remind my wife about that, but I'll take it. I'll take it for what it's worth.
I'm like, damn, that was slick.
Oh man! Now I'm all thrown off now. Right?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So we have the rest of them that are obviously as intricate to the film series as the first 4 were. They weren't as just the bigger names, I guess you could say. But I mean, these guys are some pretty big names. So there's a handful of their own
in the industry.
Yeah. Well, first one we'll talk about, which was Mr. Tony Burton, who played Duke, and Tony was in Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, 2 minutes into Rocky 5,
and Balboa,
and then Balboa.
Yes,
and then he was in almost all of them. Well,
right.
If you're going to count the Creed and Creed 2, I wasn't counting those, but yeah, he was in all of them, and he was he's such a passionate actor, passionate person. He was in The Shining. He was. Well, let's back up a bit. So he was born in Michigan, and he was a boxer.
Yes,
he was a boxer. Now he didn't box long. He was a professional boxer. He did only have 8 fights. He was 4-3-1, so he didn't have a very illustrious boxing career, so to speak.
Right.
But he was a boxer. But he was born and raised in Michigan, and then he wound up going to California to try to become an actor. After the boxing part, he is unfortunately, extremely good at chess.
Yes.
Which made me laugh because I think of the chess scene in Rocky 4.
Right.
When he won the chess game.
Right.
Yeah, when he was in The Shining, he was playing Stanley Kubrick, the director of The Shining, all the time in chess. And Kubrick's known for being a very good chess player.
No kidding.
And Tony Burton said he beat him twice, and then that was it. He never won again.
Wow.
Kubrick beat him every time.
Wow.
But he said his contract was only for a week, and Kubrick kept him there because he wanted to keep playing chess with him. So he got a little bit of a bigger part each time.
Right. And he's got a laundry list of stuff that he's been in.
Well, yeah, it starts way back in the early 70s where there was he was in a movie called The Black Godfather. He was in Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, Assault on Precinct 13. He was in Rocky, a movie called Heroes, Rocky 2, The Shining. He was in Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. He goes back. I mean, he's been in a lot of movies.
I think I remember him in the jail scene in that one.
In Stir Crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was, he did a handful of TV, like I want to say Barney Miller, maybe.
He started in 1974 in the films. And in the 70s in TV, he did the usual run. He was on Kojak. Yeah. He was on Beretta. He was on Good Times, $6 Million Man, Sanford and Son, Rockford Files, Incredible Hulk. I mean, he did the gamut when it came to the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Chips, The Fall Guy, T.J. Hooker. He was on the A-Team, Moonlighting, Werewolf, Airwolf. I'm sorry, I apologize. Airwolf.
Okay.
Police Story. Yeah, he did a ton of TV shows. And again, TV shows he did from 74, all the way up into 2003. And then his film career, he did all the way up until 2006 was Balboa. 2007 was a film called Hack. That was his final film.
Okay.
And then he was he had died. He was relatively young when he died. In my opinion, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He actually had a son that died of a heart attack at 43.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's sad. But Tony was 78 when he died. Oh. And in my eyes, I'm sorry, if you're under 85, 80 years old, I don't know. I think so. I don't know. Maybe because my dad's getting up there. I think it's young too. But yeah, he died of pneumonia. He was in the hospital later on. But he was such a pivotal role in the Rocky films.
Right.
Yep.
There he is. You're going to do the YMCA again, Tony.
Yep.
Right there. I love that that scene. Yep. You got it.
Love it. Right, he was so pivotal. He got more pivotal as the series went on, as saga went on.
Yes.
Rocky, he was very passionate, trying to make Apollo understand that he doesn't know it's a damn show. He thinks it's a damn fight.
Right.
He's like, he knew how dangerous Rocky was.
Yes.
And then, of course, in Rocky II, pleading with him not to go for the knockout.
His
face and his emotions. He was such a convincing actor.
Yeah.
Rocky III, of course, when Apollo and him both trained Rocky for the fight. Wasn't as a lot into it in the 3. It was more Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Rocky IV is really when he kind of took over the reins, so to speak.
Right.
Because Mickey had died, Apollo had died. He kind of took over, give him the speech in the house before he started training. You're going to have to go through hell. I love that speech that he tells him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when Rocky hits Drago and he's cut, and after that round ended,
not a machine.
He's not a machine. He's a man. Unloaded on it. Love it. And then, of course, the last round. This is your whole life. You got to punch and punch. You get punched. He's just so much passion, so much emotion.
Yep.
And he just gives it his all. He's just such from what I heard, he was such a pleasant man, a lovely man. He was, very kind-hearted and loving. He brought a lot to the Rocky saga. And like you said, the scene where Duke's training him in that dingy gym, speed. You don't have it. And hard running is out. Because of calcium on your joints.
Yep.
Always like, I had that. Yeah, I know. He brought a lot. He obviously, like you said, had a huge career. Did a lot with his career.
And he was kind of, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this word correctly, posthumously? Is that how do you say that?
Oh, after somebody dies, posthumously, I think it is.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm my English. Because his picture was shown in Creed 2. And I believe in Creed, was it 3? I know for a fact it was in Creed 2.
Oh, yeah. Remember when the big poster was in the office?
Yeah.
Of him and Apollo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they brought him up several times, of course, because of Duke Jr.
Right.
Was training Adonis. But he was such an integral part, a huge part. And like I said, each one, Rocky II, as you went, he got more and more involved and passionate. and you know,
yes,
a great character actor, and will be missed. Sad. I mean, it wasn't like he was 25 years old, but still 78. He had a lot more years left in him.
Oh, definitely.
Let's see who else we have here. So after him, I guess we can go right to Rocky III, and that big baddie right there. Look at that face.
I wouldn't want to meet him in the back.
I don't want to see that in the hallway.
No.
Right?
No
Jeez. He, Mr. Lawrence Turido, I think. Yeah.
From New Orleans, right?
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, Chicago.
No, he's born in Chicago. I don't know if he lived there or not afterwards. Let's see here.
Okay.
Yeah, he was born in Chicago, and that's where he was from. Yeah, Chicago.
Okay.
He made his name he was in a bouncer contest. The world's toughest bouncer. The world's toughest bouncer.
I watched that.
Yeah, so did I. And it's so funny because I watched it before I even knew who Mr. T was, obviously, because he wasn't Mr. T yet. You know?
Nobody knew who he was at that point.
It was just on some like CBS or something, just out of the blue. I was like, yeah, let's check it out.
But do you remember what made him famous about that show? What about the world or the
toughest bouncer show?
Yeah. Do you remember what he did?
Was when he threw the guy through the door?
He ran through the door.
Right, through the door.
Yeah. All the other guys were like opening the door and running through, and he went boom right through the door.
Through it. Oh, he's and he's not huge. I mean, he's a big guy. Well, he was a big guy. I mean, he was 5'10", 236 in the 80s. That's a big boy.
You sure?
That's a big boy right there. He started in 85, which when he started in 85 with his big known career, is what it says. It says he started in 1980. He was just an uncredited person in the Blues Brothers. And then in 82, he played a prisoner in Penitentiary 2. No name again. And then in 82, of course, he was Clubber Lang. Okay. And then he went on there. He did WrestleMania. He did WrestleMania 2. He did a bunch of B movies, Bash at the Beach, Halloween Havoc. He did Spy Hard and Inspector Gadget, Not Another Teen Movie. Yeah, so he did quite a few. And then let's see here. When he did in TV, he did the same thing. Saturday Night Live, the A-Team, of course.
Yeah.
The A-Team was only on for 4 years.
Right, yeah. He was, I mean, he was very well known for that, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
B.A. Baracus.
Yep, he was on Different Strokes. He had his own 83 to 85. He had the Mr. T cartoon show.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yep, and then WWE again. Did that in 84 to 88. That's when Hulk got really big, which we'll talk about him in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he went all the way up. And, I mean, Malcolm and Eddie, WWF Raw, Johnny Bravo, The Simpsons, the comeback. He did Dancing with the Stars in 2017.
Right.
I didn't know that. That's funny. But now that's a guy right there. I mean, talk about just Sly picking the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. He was the polar opposite of Apollo. Sure. Apollo was cocky, but you didn't hate him.
No.
You didn't hate him at all. You liked him. You respected him. You actually didn't mind him. Clubber, you hated. He was mouthy. He was arrogant.
Yep.
Disrespectful. I think that's what made me hate him a lot.
Sure.
You know, he had no respect for anybody. Like even Mickey. Remember when Mickey was yelling about the steps? You're a disgrace to the sport.
Yep.
He was.
Yep.
Yelling at Adrian, yelling at Mickey. He was a mess. But he was, when he threw those punches in the ring, though, holy.
I pity the fool.
Oh, I pity who's getting hit. That's what I pity.
But I heard, I had read that when they were, when Sly was choreographing the fight scenes with Mr. T, that it was very difficult because he kind of would do his own thing. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of shows the way he's swinging. I mean, he was swinging pretty hard. He
was roundhouse. I mean, he was coming from here, and he was. Yeah. I mean, he just whoosh, whoosh. He was coming around, and Sly's getting hit. He's not one for pretending and missing.
Right. He'll take a punch.
Why his hands were up. He was like getting hit all over.
Right, but I did read somewhere that it was tough doing those scenes because Mr. T was kind of like sometimes to go his own direction. And
right. I didn't. I got to look that up. I didn't read that. That'd be a dangerous game to play. That's for sure. For Sly, obviously.
Right. Like we talked about last episode, cut.
Exactly. And I'm sure he did yell, like, "Look, Mr. T, we're filming, brother. All right.
Yeah, right.
We're not. This is not real. Just please turn it down."
Well, wasn't it Rocky too? Wasn't it Ernie Shaver? Was it him, or was it Larry Holmes that he had try out to be?
I think it was Shaver. I know it wasn't Holmes.
Okay, so it was Ernie Shaver. Who was going to be the original, or he read for the part of.
He read for
Apollo Creed.
Yeah,
and Ernie hit him hard.
Yeah,
and knocked him down pretty good from what I understand. And he's like, I can't work with a real boxer.
No.
Because it's too dangerous.
No, if you get an athletic actor, you could teach him how to box.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to go teaching a boxer how to act.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to hitting and pretending.
Oh, yeah.
They only know one gear.
Right.
They only know one, and so it's tough. Because that was that word, again, derailing off topic. That was what I was reading about when they made On Any Given Sunday, and they had guys like Lawrence Taylor, and they had some pro ball players on that team, and those guys were hitting like they were playing, and they were like, Dennis Quaid is like, dude, I'm an actor, man, please, I don't need this, 6'4", 240 lineman coming at me,
right?
But yeah, so I could see. I mean, Mr. T, like you said, when he went through the door, he probably just knew one speed, and
that's it.
But it definitely, I mean, Rocky III made him a household name, that's for sure, with the gold chains and the mohawk and Say No to Drugs with Nancy Reagan. And
I was just going to say that
he was everywhere from 82 to 90. He was everywhere.
Oh yeah,
he was.
And they had the little trading cards.
Cards, cartoons. He had a cereal.
Yeah,
I remember seeing the cereal in the grocery store. If anybody had on more than like 3 chains, they were like, "Oh, what is that? The Mr. T starter kit?" Everybody knew Mr. T.
Yes,
there was supposedly a part. I think it was Creed 2 that was written where Mr. T was going to be calling one of the fights of Drago and Adonis.
Okay.
But obviously it didn't happen. There was supposed to be. I don't remember. And also, too, there was also something else for Balboa. I remember reading that Rocky, Mr. T was a fight commentator, and they were visiting Drago. Drago was in the hospital dying of AIDS because of the needles from the steroids.
Oh. I never heard this.
Yes, I don't know. Like I said, you read some of this stuff online.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be the game of telephone that by the time it gets to you, it's so far out of whack.
True.
But anyway, but Mr. T, I mean, he's obviously retired from the limelight. He's laying low right now. I mean, he's 71 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look like this anymore. He's like
no.
Definitely a lot older, but he was definitely the baddie. He was a bad guy. He was definitely a villain you didn't like.
Right.
Until this young man came along. I don't know about you, but I can't even express how much I hated Drago.
I know, right?
When I saw him in the theater and the way he didn't talk and the way he just, I remember a couple scenes where he was just like looking at Rocky, like giving him a look like, yeah, all right. Like shaking his head at him, or when Rocky was holding Apollo when he killed him.
Yeah.
And like Drago walked away and was like, making a face at, oh man, I hated that guy.
Yes.
God, did I hate him. But Mr. Dolph Lundgren is not as hateable. He's a good guy, good actor.
Yes.
Smart guy. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. He has the Royal Institute of Technology, a BSc in the University of Sydney, and MSc in Washington State University, and MIT in engineering.
Yes. Very smart man.
Ridiculously smart. I mean, my goodness. And he's another one. He's no spring chicken. He's 65 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him recently, but yeah, chemical engineering. I mean, my God, how do you have a chemical engineering degree from MIT and you're playing a boxer in Rocky IV?
I know. I told the story before. I met him on the set of Creed 2, and he walked up to me, and I literally told him, I was like,
yeah,
and he looks down at me. He's like, "Don't you boo me." I'm like, "Are you crazy? I'll boo you. I want to hug you."
That's crazy. But he was into obviously karate and martial arts of some kind long before Rocky IV, and he was doing so. He knew what he was doing, but I mean, he had the chiseled jaw and the good looks and the blue eyes and 6'6" or whatever the heck he was.
Did you ever see the interview with him, where he was talking about how he got that part of the Russian of Drago?
How he got it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so real quickly, I guess all these actors were coming in, doing their screen test or whatever, and they're all playing the Russian very boisterous, very loud, very obnoxious.
Oh, okay.
Probably a cross between T and Apollo, right?
Okay, yeah.
And Dolph, he's like, nope, I'm going to do this a completely different way. He walked in, and from what I remember the interview, he's just like, I just kept it very cool.
Yeah.
Very just cold.
Well, like he was, almost robotic. Yeah. He was just cold.
Just cold.
Yeah.
And they dismissed him. And then I guess Sly was like, look it up on YouTube or whatever. You'll get the real, all the facts and everything. But Sly was like, whoa. Where's this guy? I want this guy. And they had to go back and find him.
Nice.
Yeah. And, his method worked. It's like he played it like ice, and that won it.
He did.
The man is no dummy.
He did. No. God, no. No, he's not at all. And that's another one that Sly made his career. And he started off, and then, of course, he went and did He-Man and obviously the Expendables he did with Sly. He did a bunch of stuff. I mean, he was another one that was all over the place in the 80s and 90s where everybody knew of him. But he was Universal Soldier.
I was just going to say, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He was the Punisher. He was in that as well.
Yeah. The original Punisher, I believe.
Right? Yeah, the old one. Master of the Universe, like I said, with He-Man.
Yeah.
But he was all over the place. And he was voted, I think, number 3 on the biggest villain list or baddest villain or something. Yeah, number 1 was Darth Vader. Number 2 was Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
And
he's in good company.
Ivan Drago was number 3.
He's in real good company.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
But yeah, he made his career with that, and he's still going strong, and he's still in good shape. He still does martial arts. He still keeps himself toned.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Have you seen You've seen the Expendables, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one
I have.
Where, it's been a minute.
I haven't seen it. What's that?
It's been a minute since I've watched them, but when
right, that's what I was just going to say. I haven't seen them recently, but yeah, right. I've seen them. Yeah.
But when his character's name was Gunner, and when he went against them, oh, it was kind of like I got the feelings of Drago again.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how could you
it brought up all those feelings?
So funny.
Great actor.
We kind of skipped over another Rocky III big name that was no name technically before he became a big name, and that's this guy.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Hulk Hogan, Thunderlips. Now in 1982, WWF at the time was not as massive and as popular and mainstream, so forth, so on. There was still wrestling and a lot of stuff going on, but when he got it known 82, 83-ish after this role. And then 84, Hulkamania started. And that was, then same thing with Mr. T. He was cereals and action figures and cartoons. And that's when, Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik and Andre the Giant and all those guys. And I didn't really follow wrestling, but anybody knew Hulk Hogan's name. They still do.
Yeah.
They still do.
But he went against, if I remember correctly, Vince McMahon. Is that his name? Vince?
The owner of that's his name,
yeah. And because they did not want him to play the part because they owned his contracts or something like that. And he did it anyway,
I heard that or read that somewhere, and I did see that he just decided to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously it worked out for him. It'd be hard to argue the fact that if he did not do Rocky III, would he have gotten the popularity in the Hulkamania and he might have. I'm not going to say Rocky III was, if he didn't have it, would he have gotten it? But in the same respect, it was a huge stepping stone.
Oh, sure.
Huge stepping stone, because when Rocky III came out, that was it was massive. Rocky III was massive.
Mm-hmm.
Not that 2 and Rocky and Rocky II weren't, but Rocky III was just, between the Eye of the Tiger soundtrack and the film and the way Sly looked, and it was just huge. So it definitely put him on the map. Talk about another big guy. In his playing days, he was 6'7", 302.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's a big boy with his very well-known and famous 21-inch pythons.
21-inch pythons.
It's bigger than my leg.
I know, right?
Insane.
Yeah.
That's insane, but he's a big boy. He's.
And you met him, though. But you met him.
I did. You can't really see the picture behind me, but you kind of can see it. Let's see if I can point it out. It's up here, right here.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
You probably can't see it. Yes, I did. And he was super duper cool. I was really glad that he was. I was a little worried. I'm like, oh, man, I hope he's not a jerk, or I hope he's not, standoffish. Sorry if I clear my throat in your ear. But he was very cool. And let's see. I know I got that picture here somewhere. I'll be able to put it up. Long story short, he just started doing his karaoke's at his Hogan's hangout.
There
he is.
There it is.
He's sitting, by the way, everybody. He's sitting down. I'm standing up.
Oh.
Just so everybody can relate to that picture. He is sitting on a stool. I was standing up.
Wow.
When he shook my hand disappeared.
I bet.
No lie.
I bet.
Because when I was done singing, you had to sing a song to get a picture with him.
Okay.
Like, all right. Everybody's
going
to have to suffer for 3 minutes because I'm singing a song.
What'd you sing?
I sang a Toby Keith song, the Thank for the Red, White, and Blue.
Oh, okay.
Something along those lines.
Okay.
Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
Okay.
I sang it because it's mostly a song you could talk. It's like, you don't really sing. The very beginning is like, my father was in the army, he lost his right eye, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not really singing. So I sang the song, finished singing, turned around, and he puts his hand out. He's like, hey, great job, brother.
Nice.
Can I get a picture real quick? And he's like, yeah, of course. I took the picture. And I had the shirt on that I don't know if you can see it, but we both had the same shirt on.
Yeah, yep.
So he's like, love your shirt. Good job, brother. Like, I got called brother by Hulk Hogan. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's really cool.
But super nice guy. Obviously, that man's had a career and a half. Wrestling history, Wrestling Hall of Fame. He had a handful of movies. He was in Mr. Nanny, movie called No Holds Barred. He was in Spy Hard. Let's see here, the Ultimate Weapon. He was in Muppets from Space.
Really?
And then a TV show he played himself on The A-Team, on Baywatch, Suddenly Susan, Hogan Knows Best. He had his reality show.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So he definitely had a lot going on, and still does. He's at the restaurant every Monday for karaoke.
Okay.
So when you come down, if you want to go visit him, you can get up there and sing. And
yeah,
I mean, look at it this way: pick the best song you could ever sing at karaoke.
Margaritaville. There's Tequila. No question. Yeah,
you just sit there and bop to the song and then go tequila, tequila.
Yeah, there you go.
You can do Margaritaville.
I know that one frontwards and backwards.
So you come on down. We'll go down there. Jimmy Hart is the announcer a lot down there, and
really,
yeah, Ric Flair's there a lot. Dennis Rodman was there 1 week. I wasn't there, but he was there 1 week. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Fun
Jimmy Hart, he was Mouth of the South, right?
Mouth of the South, yeah. Yeah. He was a nice guy, too. Super nice. Yeah, he was.
I used to hate him. I watched it up until like my early teens, and then I drifted away from it. It was fun.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all, to be honest with you. I didn't watch it at all. When we went there, we met Jimmy, obviously, as I just said. And but he was really nice. But obviously, he's a lot older now. I'm sure he's, let's see. I know I got that picture here. He took a picture with Gina. He knew better than to take it with me. There you go. Gina's got the Hulkamania shirt on.
Oh yeah. And Ric Flair.
Anyway, we drifted far away from our Rocky stars here.
I know.
Let's get back on track. See, you say I could segue good. I couldn't segue back from that. We just had to put it into it.
I know. I'm awful. I'm awful.
Let's go now. We got Rocky 5. So that was over in Rocky 3. Rocky 4, we talked about Drago. And then Rocky 5, we have Tommy Morrison, who played Tommy Gunn.
Yes.
Who was another unknown pretty much at the time. And he was a boxer, though. And I think he was more – what's that?
He was a very good boxer.
Yeah. I mean, he had won the WO heavyweight title in '93 in the unanimous decision over George Foreman.
Yes.
He was 6'2", big boy, heavyweight. He was 52 total bouts. He was 48, 3-1.
Wow.
With 42 knockouts.
It's impressive.
That is. That's an impressive fight. I mean, I know that he believe, let me just make sure I'm correct about this. He was the grandnephew of John Wayne.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. He was grandnephew of John Wayne. He was only 44 when he died.
Okay. Yeah. His wife has a page. I think his wife has a page for him on Instagram. Kind of like a tribute page or whatever.
His wife does?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And, and she every once in a while will not so much discuss, but has talked about, his untimely death,
right,
which was caused by a bad transfusion, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can only go by what you read out on the Google and Wikipedia and everything else. And,
right.
Who knows? I mean, it's his health. It says here, HIV tested and false positives, tested negative for HIV 4 times. So it's kind of all over. That was why he had to stop fighting. He had legal issues. He had a DUI.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't make good choices after getting up there and getting more well-known.
Right.
But it says here that, quote, August 2013, Tommy Morrison's mother, Diana, said Tommy had full-blown AIDS It was in his final days. He died in Nebraska at the age of 44. Cardiac arrest resulting from multi-organ failure due to septic shock caused by the infection. So,
yeah,
sad way to end that, because, I mean, as much as a lot of people don't like Rocky V and Tommy Gunn's performance, you know, I mean, he's still a man. You don't want to go see him die at 44 years old.
No.
So it's sad. It's sad. And like you said, he had a very successful and boxing career. I mean,
sure,
that's no joke to have those kind of numbers, you know, and win a title.
Right.
So it's, you know, against George Foreman. So it's not like granted, in 93, George Foreman wasn't the George Foreman of old.
Right.
But he's still George Foreman.
Sure. You know, and Foreman hit.
Oh, God, I'm sure.
In his early years and in his later years.
Oh, I'm sure. Even when he was remember when he won the title, when he was 40-something, whatever he was, you know, he's a big round dude that if you saw him, you know, at a backyard barbecue.
Yeah. You wouldn't know any different.
Crazy.
Yeah. Too short. Too short.
But yeah, so Tommy was playing Tommy Gunn, and you know, I mean, the role was what it was. I don't know anything about why Sly chose him. I don't know. I've never read anything about why or how. All it says was Morrison's known for his action career, having starred along Sylvester Stallone in 1993 for Rocky V, retired from boxing in 96 when he tested positive for HIV. But it doesn't have anything like on a story of how he was chosen, or I've never even read anything why Sly chose him or how Sly chose him. So
right, yeah.
Unless anybody else knows more about that, please let us know.
Right. I mean, in the back of my mind, I think, well, is it because he always likes to have a real boxer in his movies? You know, he had Roberto Duran in
maybe
Rocky,
maybe,
and
I don't know.
I don't think there's any. You know, I don't know about Rocky 2, but no, Rocky 2 was
Rocky 2. Yeah, Rocky 2. Roberto Duran was in it. But I don't know. I don't know what his reasonings were, but it was what it was. I mean, it made the movie what it was. It, you know,
I'd love to see him do like he did with 4, to do that with 5,
like
director's cut.
Can't really do director's cut. He didn't direct it because John Alvinson directed it, and John Alvinson's no longer with us. So I'm sure he could kind of splice it and piece it and put together what he would like for it to have been. And there's also a director's cut out there on YouTube in full. If you go to YouTube, and it has a lot of different stuff in that film, a lot of different stuff.
Right,
it's hard to watch. Hard to watch because it's grainy. And it has boxes over the top and bottom, and it has like a timer. It's very distracting, but it's but yeah, if you check it out, it's a better film than what was released, in my opinion.
I've tried to watch it, and you're absolutely correct. It's very distracting.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I didn't really care for all that, but it is what it is.
Right.
So, well, we only got 2 more to cover here. So we got that's Rocky V. Then of course leads us up to Balboa. Excuse me. And Balboa, one of the main characters, is not a boxer, but is Milo. Now I gotta make sure I say his name right. Milo Ventimiglia. Ventimiglia. Yeah. Okay.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I'm sorry, Milo, if I'm saying that wrong. But Ventimiglia played Rocky Jr.
Yes.
Fantastic job he did. Great job in the action department on that. And he had he's been around a long time too. He's 45, so it's not like he's a spring chicken, but he's also been around a long time. He started in 97 with a lot of the teen, like he did She's All That and A Boy's Life and a couple of things, Winter Break, stuff like that. Of course, 06 he did Balboa.
Wasn't he in like One Tree Hill? That TV show series?
Let's see. I'm only on the films here. So he did, he was in Grown Ups 2, Grace, Monica, Walter. There's a lot of these films I don't know of. So here's TV. He did The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Sabrina, Saved by the Bell, Brooklyn South, One World, Promised Land, CSI, Gilmore Girls, Boston Public, Law and Order, Bedford Diaries, Robot Chicken, Wolverine, Gotham, Whisperers, Gilmore Girls again. This Is Us was his big TV show. He did that for 6 years, and he got a lot of accolades from that show. I never personally watched it, but my wife did, and Gina loved it. She said it was fantastic. And Sly does a cameo in that show.
Tony, I got to tell you, so we just bought the box set of This Is Us recently.
Oh, so you know of it. Okay.
So we watched it when it was on. Okay. Now we've been rewatching it. We just watched that episode the other night with Sly in it. Great episode.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. Milo, all of them, everyone in that TV series it's an amazing TV series.
Cool.
It really is. It really is. You get just drawn into this family, and you feel like you're a part of it. And it's kind of like Cheers back in the day. You just felt like, you walked in the bar and everyone yelled your name type thing.
Right.
It's one of those shows that it will go down in history, in my opinion.
Cool.
And Milo is amazing.
Gina has said very good things about it as well. She watched it from the beginning.
Yeah.
As well.
Milo is amazing. And the different parts he plays in that, because they go back and forth in time. So he's playing younger and older versions of himself.
Oh, okay.
He's a great, great actor. He really, truly
check it out, I think. I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Well, also in Balboa, besides Robert, is the other fighter that Rocky takes on, Mason the Lion Dixon.
Yes.
Again, played by a real boxer, Antonio Tarver. And Antonio Tarver has one film to his name, and it's Rocky Balboa.
That's right.
But he's had a very long professional career as a boxer. He made his debut at 28 years old in 97. And has gone on from there. Let me see if I can find his record. He was 39 fights, 31 wins, 22 KOs, 6 losses, 1 draw.
Okay. I did have the opportunity. I have met him twice at the Boxing Hall of Fame. Very nice man. Cool. Very well spoken, very polite. I have a picture of him and I hanging right over there on the other wall there. And, I couldn't, just nothing but good things to say that I know of him,
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
I stood next to him for about an hour, and we just kind of shot the bull like you and I are doing back and forth.
Right.
We talked about, I showed him my picture with Sly, and we talked about Creed 2, and, super nice guy. Super nice guy.
Very cool. That's cool. Good to hear. Yeah. Well, these guys, they made up the rest of the Rocky saga. I mean, they made up everything else. And, as I hate to say anybody's unimportant, but as important as, of course, Sylvester Stallone and Talia Shire are, which obviously they're the most important characters of the saga. These other ones that fill in the holes, you need them. You have to have them. You can't.
Yes.
You couldn't continue the saga without them. And to have them done as well as all of these actors did, and even including Tarver. I mean, he only did one film. He didn't do a bad job. I mean, I'm not saying his act. I mean, of course, him and Tommy Morrison, their acting is no.
Right.
It is what it is, but it's a good show. It's a good performance.
Right.
It led a lot of weight to the Rocky saga. Now, there's a ton of other people we could have included, but I mean, we already went almost an hour with these guys, and that was only 6 of them. So it's like we could not include, Joe Spinell for Gazzo, or David for Juergens, Spider Rico, Pedro Lowell. There's so many. The ring announcers, Bill Baldwin and Stu Nahan, they did what? Almost they did 3 of them. 4? Were they in 4? I know they did Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3.
Wolf.
Oh, 4 was Warner Wolf. That's right.
Yeah, Warner Wolf.
I mean, there's just so many of them. You couldn't include all of them. You just couldn't do it all.
No, we can always do another episode on those. On that, they're not secondary, but they would be they're integral parts.
They are because, like you said, you couldn't have. I mean, without Gazzo, it doesn't set up what Rocky's life is like if he doesn't go and do what he's going to do.
Right.
You understand. You see the life he's leading. Gazzo comes out. He's giving him $20 for picking up money. He's just.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you need that character. He has to be. He has to be a part of it.
How about Richard Gant in 5? My God.
Exactly. Richard Gant in 5, George Washington Duke, who was the Don.
He was an integral part of the movie,
Don King-esque,
if
you want to say, so to speak. Or Bridget Nielsen, who played Ludmilla Drago. They're huge parts.
We should do an episode with all them.
I guess we might have to.
Yeah, why not?
There's so many of them. I mean, like I said, we're already on an hour now, so there's so many of them. We would have to be a 2-hour show. We might have to do a part 3. So look for that. Part 3 is coming.
Yeah, let's do a part 3. I enjoy this. And I know you do as well. So
yeah. Well,
and hopefully everybody at home does.
I hope they do. I mean, if they don't, like we've said to you guys a million times. So you want to know something? If we don't change anything, it's because you're not telling us to. So it's your own fault.
Right. And hopefully, you know what? Between what Tony knows and what I know, and some of our interpersonal dealings with some of these characters, some of these people, you might learn something kind of fascinating about these people. Like, I never knew he was a real jerk, or I never knew he was really personable, or I never knew that this person fought this way, or whatever, it could be.
Well, I agree.
We'll bring in some knowledge.
I agree. We'll do part 3. We'll do that soon. And if you like it, just let us know. Like we said in the comments there, let us know. But otherwise, another good one, my friend.
Absolutely. Our time goes by so fast.
It does. I remember I told you at the beginning of the show. I don't know if we're going to be. It's only 6 of them. I wonder how short we're going to run, and we're just a couple minutes shy of an hour right now. So.
Yeah.
It does go by. When you're sitting there and you got some good conversation going, you got some good topics. And then, of course, we start taking the detours of life and start talking about whatever.
Tony, if you and I were ever to, meet up in the bar, we'd be closing the damn things. Our wives would be calling the cops. Get those
guys, we're going to stop. So, all right, my friend. Well, another good one. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, as always. And we will see you next week.
Thank you all.
Yes.